Welcome to today's session on an introduction to EPOCH resources. My name is Rachel O, and I'm the EPOCH trainer. Please note that today's session is being recorded. You may have noticed that your microphone has been automatically muted. If you have any questions as we're going along, please feel free to hit the raise hand icon at the bottom of your screen or go ahead and type your message into the chat box. Please don't feel like you need to wait until the end of the session. If you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me at any time. A bit later on today, you will be receiving an email from me with a link to the recording of today's session, a copy of the PowerPoint slides, and a link to an online evaluation. The online evaluation only takes a couple of minutes to complete, and if you're able to take the time to do that, we do appreciate it. Each evaluation we receive is read through carefully, and we do use them to structure future training. Most of what we do today will be a live demo. As I mentioned, I will send you the PowerPoint slides, but they really are quite minimal. So as I mentioned, I'm Rachel Lowe. I'm the EPOCH trainer. My background is in midwifery, education, and library and information studies, and I am a registered midwife. So what is EPOCH? EPOCH is an acronym that stands for the e-portal for online clinical help, and it is the Tasmanian Department of Health's online clinical and research information service. It provides clinicians with the best access to the latest evidence-based information for point-of-care decision support, medical, nursing, and allied health research, and ongoing professional development. EPOCH is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to all Tasmanian Department of Health employees, regardless of their location. So you can use it outside of your workplace. It is something that you can access online from a mobile device or from any computer, provided you have internet access, of course. So this is just a summary of some of the resources available on EPOCH. So there's the EPOCH search function. You have access to medicines information, point of care tools, clinical guidelines and standards, electronic journals and textbooks, and research databases. So you can access EPOCH a number of ways. It is accessible via shortcuts and applications on the landing page of the Department of Health and Tasmanian Health Service intranet. It's also accessible from the Library Services intranet homepage, and the address for that is there as well. Or it is accessible at epoch.health.tas.gov.au. And I'm just going to jump into my Chrome browser now, and we'll have a little look around. Okay, so hopefully you've all visited EPOCH at some stage or another. This is what the EPOCH landing page looks like. So as you can see, our Search EPOCH search bar is here. And as it says, this is where you can search for articles, books, journals, and more. And you'll see there's a drop-down menu here. So you can search across everything. You can search through just ebooks. If you know the DOI of your article, you can look that up directly. You can also search PubMed and Google Scholar as well. Now you will notice across here, you can log out. You've got your My Account tab. There is a calendar. I'm just going to open that in a new tab, and we'll have a look at that. So this is what the EPOCH calendar looks like. So there are frequent training sessions held. And as you can see, you can filter these. Or you can view an events listing. So as you can see, there are many sessions available to help you get the most out of EPOCH. And of course, you can scroll through the calendar. Now, some of these sessions are recorded, so that is something I do invite you to inquire about. For example, this session is being recorded, so for people who are unable to attend at the time that a webinar is scheduled, do inquire and see if it will be recorded, because often if you register, you can receive the recording. All right, and we also have the A to Z Resources All tab. Again, this opens in a new window. And this is where you can browse your ebooks and journals. So here you can browse publications, you can browse databases, or you can browse subjects. So you can search by title or by ISSN or author or subject. And you can also choose whether you want to find an exact match to the term that you've entered or so on. You can also randomly select a letter. And as you see, you get a list. With each of these, it tells you what it is. These are all proceedings. Sometimes you're going to get books. Sometimes you're going to get journals. We'll just move on to another one. Okay, for example, you have access to the journal HME Today, and it tells you that you have full text access. And you can always click on more to get more information. All right, let's jump back to our landing page. You also have the A to Z Journal Browse. If you click on that, again, it opens in a new tab and it takes you to an app called Browsine. If you're not familiar with Browsine, you can actually search for journals by title, subject, or ISSN. So I'm going to go ahead and search for journals on endocrinology. Now, as you can see, as I'm starting to type, it's already predicting what I'm going to say. And as you can see, you've got a results list here. If it's in the red, you can search the subject. The blue are the titles of journals. So let's say I want to look at endocrine and metabolic disorders. I can click on that. It gives me the option of subheadings, or I can go ahead and scroll through the journals that are available. Let me just choose one at random here. Let's look at diabetes, epidemiology, and management. So this tells me what journal issues are available. You can browse related subjects from here. But as you can see, for this issue, we have a list of available articles. If you're ever unsure what an icon means, if you just hover over it, it will tell you. So you can download a PDF of this article. You can provide a link to the article. You can save it to My Articles. If you save things to My Articles, that is where you access them. You can also export a citation. So if you click on that, you're able to choose which software you use, whether it's EndNote or RefWorks. And you also have the option of sharing. If you click on that, you can copy the link to the article, or you can go directly to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or email. If we go ahead and look at My Articles, it tells you that that is where you can save articles. You can also set up a virtual bookshelf as well. So you can save certain journals and you can go into the virtual bookshelf and read them. So let's jump back to our landing page. There's also an A to Z ebook browse as well. And if you open up that page, you're able to search the ebooks by keyword. You also have a number of filters here. So you can access special collections. Let's say you only wanted to look at the open access collection, or you only wanted to look at the clinical key collection. You can also filter by specialty. And you can also filter by year if you wish to. You can select how you sort your results list, whether it's alphabetical order from A to Z or from Z to A. So let's go ahead and do a search for cardiology in my ebook collection. And you have a number of books available there. So you can read online, or you can add it to your library. All right, now I can always go back to my landing page by clicking on the logo there. You can access your library catalog here. And as you can see, you can do a basic search, an advanced search, and so on. So let's have a look at the toolbar here. Let's say I want to do a search for journal articles on diabetes. I can go ahead and type that in and click on Find It. And this will open up a new tab. All right, so as you can see, I've got nearly 6 million results. So when you search this way, when you search from that search bar on the landing page, you are searching across a number of resources. So as you can see, you have your filters here. So let's say I only want to look at online full text. Let's say I only want to look at peer-reviewed articles. Let's say I only want to look at articles from the last 12 months. And I can also filter by source type. Now, because I've selected peer-reviewed, the vast majority of these are going to be academic journals, but there will be a few other things in there as well. All right, so as you can see, this is our results list. Again, if you're ever unsure what an icon means, just hover over it and it will tell you. So I can save that to my saved items, and it does prompt me here. If I sign into the My EBSCO account, you can keep your saved items forever, and that's where you can do that. You've also got some tools here. If you hover over those 3 dots, it will tell you that this is where you access tools. And if I click on that, you'll see that you can cite this article. And so if I select the citation style that I want, I can simply highlight, copy, and paste that, or with one click, I can copy it to my clipboard. You also have the option here of exporting your citation. So again, whatever software that you use, whether it's EndNote or whether you want to export in RIS format and so on. Another tool you have here is you can add this to a project. So if I add something to my projects, it will appear in this projects tab here. You can also share this article. If you click on that, it will give you a number of options. So you can share via Google Drive, Google Classroom, OneDrive, or you can create a link, or you can go ahead and email that to someone or to yourself. So it tells you that the PDF and the online full text will be included as an attachment. You enter your email and press send. Now you can send that to a number of email addresses as long as you separate them by a semicolon. And you can also download the article. When you see an article like this, you have a number of access options. So I can view the online full text, I can view a PDF, or I can view a complete issue of this journal. If you have a look at the entry here, it gives you the title of the article. The reason the term diabetes is highlighted is because that was our search term. So it gives you the beginning of a blurb. It tells you the subjects that each article has been tagged with. So this is a way of applying metadata, and this is what makes these articles searchable. It's a bit like when we use hashtags on social media. It tells us the journal that it was published in, and it tells us the database that it comes from. And it gives us the author's name. So I can click on View Details, and this will bring me into a detailed record, and I can get a little bit more information about this article, including a complete abstract. From here, I can download, and again, access options. I've got my icons here. Again, from here, I can save, cite, add to project, share, or download. So let's go back to our results list. Now you will notice there is an advanced search tab here. If I go ahead and click on that, it opens up an advanced search page. So this is where you can do more complex searching. Now you will notice you are prompted to enter, as you start to type, you'll be prompted with search terms. So let's say I'm interested in diabetes type 1 in teenagers, and I like that search term there. And I'm interested in DKA or diabetic ketoacidosis. As I scroll down, I can find some limiters here. So I only want online full text that's peer-reviewed and published in the last 12 months. So I'm going to go ahead and search. And as you can see, I have a number of results here. And you will notice that different articles have different access options. Some of them you can download the PDF, some you need to open into a new tab and access the full text via another site, and so on. Your articles are listed in order of relevance, but you can change that. You can have them listed by date with the newest at the top or the oldest at the top. Down the left-hand side, you have your dashboard. So you have an overview. As I mentioned, you can add articles to a project and you can access your projects here. You can save articles, and this is where your saved articles will appear. You can save searches, and you can have a look at what you've viewed as well. So you have some research tools here. You have general search. You can also access publications. And that takes us into the Browse eBooks and eJournals tab that we've already looked at. You also have a concept map. So I'll just click on that and show you what that looks like. So that has put in our search term. So we search diabetes type 1 and teenagers or adolescents or young adults, and DKA or diabetic ketoacidosis. There's a whole bunch of parentheses and things in there because that's how the system groups the terms. So from there, I have some suggestions. So I'm going to go ahead and look at diabetes mellitus. And this is where you can start to build up a concept map. So you can explore different concepts from there and add it to your search. And as you can see down the right-hand side, this is where you have your search builder. All right, let's just jump back. You can also access supplemental sources down the left-hand side. So this is where you can find more content available. And you do have the option of searching certain other resources that are available on EPOCH. And you get more information about those there. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our landing page. So we've looked at how you can do a search from this search bar here. Now you do also have access to several databases. And as you can see here, you can browse a full list of the research databases that you have access to on EPOCH. And as you can see, there's quite a few of them there. I'm just going to jump into CINAHL. Now, if you're unfamiliar with CINAHL, CINAHL is the term CINAHL is an acronym that stands for the Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature. So it is aimed specifically at nursing and allied health. So I'm just going to jump into that database. So people often ask me, what is the difference between searching using this search bar or searching an individual database like CINAHL or Clinical Key or Dentistry and Oral Sciences Source? The difference is when you search using this search bar here, you're searching across a number of resources. So you're searching across a whole lot of information that's available on EPOCH. So of course you have the advantage of doing a very, very broad search. If you go into an individual database, and we've gone here into CINAHL, the advantage of that is that certain databases have certain features that you need to go into that database to access. So for example, if I'm searching just in CINAHL, I do have some really unique limiters. For example, because CINAHL is aimed at nursing and allied health, you can specifically search for articles where the first author is a nurse or where any author is a nurse. And as you can see, there's some really specific limiters here. So I could look just for metasyntheses. I could look for continuing education modules. I could look just for articles on evidence-based practice. You'll also notice in this special interest category, for example, you could look just for articles about advanced nursing practice, or just for articles about nursing administration or nursing education. You also have some really specific publication types. So for example, if you were looking for care plans, or if you were looking for you can actually look for dissertations or evidence-based care sheets, different things like that. You also have journal subsets that you could look at. So for example, if you were only looking for allied health, you wanted to limit your results to only those from allied health journals, or only those from core nursing journals, and so on. So I hope that answers that question that I get asked a lot as to why you would search a database rather than using this search bar here. So there's pros and cons to both. Certainly searching from here, you do a really broad search and you're accessing a whole lot of resources. If you go into an individual database, you're searching a lot less material, but you can do some very targeted searching. All right, I'm just going to click on the EPOCH label to take me back to the landing page. As you can see, there's a section here on the help desk. So you can email, you can give feedback, or you can call a 1-300 number. There's also some frequently asked questions. There are specialty guides available. You're also able to request an article or book. If there's something specific you're looking for that's not available on EPOCH, you can put in a request. You can also request that the librarians do an evidence search for you. You can also request EPOCH training, and I'll just click on that. So from here, this is where you can book training, or you can ask library services, or you can check the training calendar that we've already looked at. If you wanted to book some group training, that's something that I look after, and this is customized and flexible training, usually online, occasionally in person. If you click on that tile, it takes you to this section here. So you are able to contact a librarian in your region, or you can contact me, and those are my contact details there. So I am able to provide customized training to employees of the Tasmanian Department of Health. So if there's an aspect of EPOCH you'd like to learn more about, it could be a specific resource, or it could be a search strategy. Maybe you're new to research and you wanted to know how to do an advanced search in one of the databases, for example. We could organize a session on that. So this is just an example of some of the session topics that I have run. This is by no means an exhaustive list. We can organize anything. Now you will see some quick links down the left-hand side here. So these are some of the popular resources. You may be familiar with Dynamed, for example. Dynamed is a little bit different to a research database. Research databases are repositories of articles and publications. A resource like Dynamed is what we call a point of care tool, or a decision support tool. So for example, you could go into a database and read 10 recent articles on type 1 diabetes, or you could go into Dynamed and you could type in type 1 diabetes, And you could read a topic on type 1 diabetes that is a recent article that has collated and curated the latest information for you. So point of care tools are really handy in that way. And all of that information, of course, is referenced, and you will be able to see where it comes from, and it does link to those references as well. So as you can see, you've got access to MIMS, you've got access to COVID-19 guidelines, you've got access to a whole lot of things. You've got some guidelines and standards. You've got a little carousel here of popular journals, and you can click on any of those. There's a tile here on best evidence and practice. There's our research databases that we looked through. You've also got medicines information. Down here, it does mention apps and tools. So some of the resources you have access to on EPOCH, not all of them, but some of them have mobile apps. Dynamed, that we just had a very brief look at, is one that does have a mobile app. You will find it in your App Store or your Play Store, and you can go ahead and download that. You also have some research tools. So please go in, have a look around the EPOCH website, have a bit of a play around. You do have access to many, many resources via EPOCH. If you have any questions about them, you can always contact your librarians, or you can contact me. My contact details are on the screen in front of you. And you have also seen where on the EPOCH website you can find them. Also, as I mentioned, you will be receiving an email from me a little bit later this afternoon, and you will have my contact details via that as well. Does anybody have any questions? All right, well, thank you very much for attending.